Hello and welcome to this live stream. How are you? When you get to this live stream, let me know that you are here. Let me know where you're from. You know, I'm going to admit I hardly go live on here on Instagram. So, hi, how are you? How's everyone? I hardly go live here on Instagram. So, I don't know how to put cute little pinned comments down there. So if you're here, let me know that you're here. Let me know where you're from. And if you're a service provider, some type of expert, some type of coach, let me know. This is going to be a great live stream for those of you who sell services, expert services, and you want to sell them at high ticket and you do sales calls. Okay. I choose to do sales calls because first of all, my work is not cheap. Second of all, some people could have money on a credit card to pay you and they're just, hey, how are you from New York? Good to have you here. And some people do have the money to pay you. And this is going to be a masterclass. Before I keep going, this is going to be a masterclass on high ticket sales and psychology. So if I were you, I would take something down, something to take notes because I'm not holding anything back. So the psychology of a high ticket sale of a luxury premium offer is very different than someone buying a $200 thing from you. They don't need to speak to you. They don't need to have a sales call. They can just decide on your website or wherever on your Stan Store, on your link in bio, they can just go buy your thing. Even something that's $2,000 and $5,000. I have purchased $10,000 services without a sales call. But particularly me, I want to make sure that you're not just my ideal client. There are people in this industry, they feed us this marketing jargon that's like your ideal client, your ideal client. I think an ideal client is somebody who can pay you. If you have the money to pay me, then you're my ideal client. Shit. Right? But I don't like working with just people who can pay me because I've been in this business long enough to know that some people can pay you and that's still not enough. Some people pay you and it's still not enough. You didn't charge them enough money for them to be bought in and locked in for their transformation. So I like working with dream clients, people who can pay you and who also do the work. They have a level of identity already in them. They don't need to go from zero, to believe it in myself, right? Those people, I do business coaching. I do transformational high ticket sales for business coaching, and I do life coaching. When I have sales calls for life coaching, they go a little differently than the sales calls for my services. But the thing that is still the same is that I do not get on a sales call to sell my offer. I do not get on a sales call to ask, how long have you been dealing with this problem? And why is now the most important time to deal with it? And what will happen if you don't take action today? And, how long have you been sitting in this pain? And I don't go deeper in the pain and deeper in the pain to either one of my prospects, whether it's somebody who wants life coaching from me or somebody who wants business coaching from me. So I had a client, brand new client. She came through to want to buy life coaching from me, life coaching. And so it was super interesting. She answered all the questions on my pre-qualifying questionnaire. I don't get on any sales calls with anyone who does not have money to get started today and who hasn't indicated that she's ready to go. The reason I hop on a sales call is so that I can figure out, am I really capable of helping you with all of the things that you say you want? I get to ask, several deeper questions, and I get to find out, does this person already have a level of identity in themselves? Do they already have a level of being, an aspirational thing that they want to be, right? So life coaching clients are a little different than the business clients, right? They see me, they see my reels, they see my content, and they are immediately activated. They are activated. They're like, I want to be like her. I want to do that. I want to speak with that. But they don't say that. They say things like, I want to find my voice. I wonder how Linda found her voice. I want boldness like her. I want to have confidence like her. This is what they say. So this woman came to a sales call with me yesterday. I got on my Zoom to, wait for her, and 2 minutes went by and she wasn't on the call. So I picked up the phone and I called her. she had taken herself out to lunch. Once she found the link in her email, she got on with me and she began by saying, I'm so sorry that I want to apologize for wasting your time. And I said to her, you will not waste my time. You don't need to apologize for wasting my time because you're not going to. Okay, if you're not, I'm on this call because you said you were willing to get started. You want to ask me some more questions and you have the money to get started today. And so she said, no, what I meant was, I'm sorry that I was late. And I said, so always say what you mean and mean what you say. Now I'm going to stop there because the title of this live stream is Sell the Transformation, Not Your Offer. So even though this is a sales call and I'm not coaching her, on the sales call, I am being the powerful mirror for her. As I am mirroring to her, her behaviors. No, you actually, she said, I'm sorry, I'm not a flake. No, you actually are a flake. Because you decided that, oh, I do know that this appointment is with Linda, but instead I'm going to go to lunch. I said, you didn't consciously think that. Subconsciously, your brain did what it always does. It avoids. You've been praying for the answer to your problem. You found me. You booked a call with me. And then you went to do all these behaviors that people call self-sabotage. I don't like using the term self-sabotage because self-sabotage implies that you're doing something to yourself that you don't want to do. You're doing something to yourself that stops you from getting results, but you don't really want to do it. It's self-sabotage. No, I don't believe that that is real. I believe that you do the behaviors in accordance with who you believe you are. You act like who you are. You don't act in self-sabotage. So this woman, I already know from talking to her for less than 3 minutes that she avoids because her brain took her to take herself to lunch instead of coming to the call that she had committed to coming to. So I immediately called the behaviors out on the call. No, you are a flake because you were late. I had to call you to remind you to be here. I'm so embarrassed. I'm not really like this. No, you really are like this. So again, I didn't come to the call to sell her my offer. I began to be a powerful mirror for her. I began to say the difficult things that most people are afraid to tell her, but I'm not most people. I'm a 7-figure coach that she wants to hire to pay for a transformation in her life. So I showed up as who I am. The people in the spiritual space, there's a lot of people in the coaching industry who are trauma informed, they're somatic release people, they're intuitive, they're healers, they're spiritual, and they like to say the phrase holding space. I just hold space for my clients. I just hold space for my clients. I don't hold any space for my clients. You literally will fall on your damn face. What I do is I stand in the gap. This is where you are when you hire me. This is where you want to go. And this gap, that's the scary part. When you're standing here and you have to make the first leap, which is like find that $15,000, find that $30,000, find that $100,000, whatever it is that you need to pay to hire me. That's the first leap you're taking. And this gap right here, I stand in that gap powerfully, guiding you through your decision that you have to make to get over here. I don't hold space for you. I don't nurture you. And like, oh, I understand. Oh, let's take some deep breaths. Oh my God. Oh, I totally feel you, girl. I feel you. Sending you so much love. I'm sending you vibes of positivity and love. No, that doesn't change or transform anyone. So again, we got on this call. We were on the call for an hour. Me just being a powerful mirror for her. When it was time for her to say yes and release her money, she literally had some type of panic attack because she's never made this type of investment into herself. It was a lot of money. She's never done that. She never realized that she was that important. She said, I help everybody. I don't have any problem. I don't think twice about giving someone money to help them. I don't think twice about doing things. Why is this so difficult for me? So as I'm on that call, I offer a fast decision bonus. And I said to her, if you do not see this as an opportunity, then you will stay stuck right there struggling, and you probably deserve to stay struggling because you've been praying for this. Here's your answer. And this is your pattern. You do this in every area of your life. You go to the edge and you don't jump. You see what you've been asking for and you don't move forward. Because oftentimes the average person, they pray for answers to their prayers and they think that the answer is going to be some miraculous shit. Like the answer is going to require that you spend money to go get it. The opportunity, it's not going to look magical. It's not going to look like a little unicorn with a rainbow. It's going to look like something you have to give up. It's going to look like a sacrifice. It's going to look like something hard for me to do. It's going to look like work. It's going to look like hard work. It doesn't look like whatever you magically think opportunities look like. So one of my prayers every morning is, Lord, help me discern opportunities. Don't let me pass them by because they look like hard work. Help me meet the right women. Let me know that this one was sent by you, that our paths are crossing today because they were ordained, that I need to be in this woman's life as much as she needs to be in mine. So when you're getting on a sales call and you're like trying to sell, you've already lost the sale. If you get on a sales call and just be who you are, powerfully call this person on their bullshit. If they came to the call late, you can be like, are you always a flake? What? I'm not a flake. Yes, you are. This is the first time I'm meeting you and you decided to be 4 minutes late to a Zoom call. It's not like you had to drive somewhere. You were late to a Zoom call. This is a pattern for you. These are the things that are holding you back from making your money. These are the things that are holding you back from being a bad bitch in your life, for being a woman of power. This is why these simple things that people do not believe are the problem. People come to me for two reasons: to work with them on their high ticket sales, on their profit, on their revenue, and to work with me on these behaviors. I call it identity and power coaching and mentoring. But a lot of people think, no, Linda, I just need you to help me charge more. You can't charge more because you drink too much. You're drinking a whole bottle of wine every night. No. That's not what I need. I need to charge more. You can't charge more because you've been sleeping with a married man for the last year. No, Linda, that's my personal life. I don't need coaching for my personal life. No. You don't love yourself. You tolerate mediocrity because no woman that loves herself is going to be sleeping with a married man for any amount of time, let alone a year. No woman that loves herself is going to be manipulated by this married man who is basically victimizing his wife and you. Like, don't think that you're better than his wife. He's not leaving her, right? But you think, no, Linda, I didn't come to you for that. I want to make more money. You can't make more money because you have an adult son living in your house with his wife and their 3 kids. And he currently got his wife pregnant now, so a 4th one is on the way. You don't ask for any money from your son. You know, they're currently just running up your bills in your house. And you have no way that you can't find it in yourself to say, you need a job and you guys need to move. Because if you do that, I'm a bad mom. I'm awful. I don't want my kids to hate me. But you think that, Linda, I just want help with high ticket coaching. You can't sell high ticket coaching because of all of these areas in your life that you don't think are important, that are huge of your identity. You can't charge more because you want to be cheap. You've never had a mirror of a woman who charges $50,000, $100,000 for a VIP day with her, $100,000 to work with her for a certain amount of time. You want to go pay a coach that charges $500 or $1,000 a month for their little mastermind. You've never seen that modeled. You won't be able to do what it is that you want to do in your business if you do not address your identity in all the areas of your life that your power is leaking. And those areas of your life that your power is leaking are called your personal standards. They're called your code that you live life through, whether you were a coach or an entrepreneur or not. As a human being on the planet Earth, you pay all your bills on time, not just your light bill and your cell phone bill. You pay all of your commitments on time. When you sign a contract, that is stronger than any, your word is stronger than any contract. The contract was just formalities. You would rather die than pay something late. You would rather die than to be reminded, hey, your payment is due. You would rather die right? And I'm 53. I deal with a lot of people that are younger. And sometimes I want to slap your parents because they didn't raise you right. You know, like, who the fuck raised you? Do you not have any values? Did they not teach you a standard for which you carry yourself as a human being on earth? So that when you say what you say, people know, yo, she doesn't have to be reminded. When she says what she says, she's going to come through. Right? And so a lot of people, even my clients that are currently working with me now, they're like, Linda, I know you do business coaching, but I don't even see what you do as business coaching. You straight up change women's internally, like their DNA, who they are from the inside. And so that's why I have offers called Sales Dominatrix, Movement, Alter, Black Sheep, The Reckoning, because you need to reckon with yourself. You need to step into a different identity. You need to stop thinking like a basic bitch and doing basic bitch behaviors and tolerating basic bitch people as your clients. That is right now. I'm making this live stream and I titled it Sell the Transformation, Not Your Offer. I literally right now, this live stream is me selling you the transformation because I'm not trying to sell you, come work with me. I am mirroring for you things about you, mindsets about you. If not about you now, they were you before. If not you, these are your clients. I am mirroring for you that there's a standard of operating in your life called excellence, and that bar is too low for you. You need to raise your own bar. You need to develop agreements with yourself, a pact, promises, whatever word you want to use here, where you're like, I'm never going to break this rule. These are rules that I don't break. I don't get into an Uber if it's this, if it's that, if the person driving doesn't match the picture of this, if I don't send my mom a screenshot of the tag or my friends, like if I don't get into Uber, I don't hop into Uber without sharing my ride with other people. Like these are, if you were in a hospital, if you worked in a hospital, there are these rules, standard operating procedures that you handle. This is my straw, that you handle all sharps. All nurses and doctors and people who work in medicine, they handle all needles the same way. It doesn't matter if you go to the doctor in Florida or you go to the doctor in Alaska. You have to handle all needles and any utensils that were used for surgery that have fluid, human fluid on it. You have to treat them the same way. Why? Because if you do that, you minimize the risk of potential infection. If you treat every sharp like it's infected, then you minimize the risk of poking yourself or poking others. That is the same type of standard operating procedures that you need for your life. It's not just when you're a coaching client. It's for your life. These are called your code that you live life by, where you would rather die than to be told that you're a fucking liar, where you would rather die than to be told that your word ain't shit, where you would rather die than to be constantly told, man, why are you always late? You just don't respect people's times. Well, you would rather die than to not have some type of a code for your life. Because you lack this code in some areas of your life, it's the reason why you can't make money. But you think that can't possibly be. I'm highly educated. That can't possibly be. Do you know what I drive? I drive a $100,000 Tesla. I drive a $100,000 Mercedes. Do you know who do you know I'm the first person in my family to buy a house? I'm the first person in my family to live this way. I'm the first person in my family to have this type of education. So women and men too, but I work with women. So I'm only talking to women. If you're a man, wonderful. Thanks for being here. But I work with women. So women lie to themselves because they're like, look at my purse. Look at my car. Do you see these Versace earrings? These are Versace, girl. Like, do you see me? You can't possibly tell me that I don't have standards. No, you don't. Because you and your Versace earrings and your badass car and your great credit score, you're still sleeping with a married man. You're still drinking too much. You're still eating too many gummies. You're still overeating. You don't take care of your body. You don't keep your word. You lie to people. No one can count on you. You can't just pick and choose where you're going to be, where you're going to appear like you're outside. Appearances. It's just like a used car. You can wax it and you can make it all pretty and shine the tires and put it on the lot to sell. And maybe the engine is going to blow. Right? This is how we operate. And if you focused on being a mirror, right now, that's what I'm doing on this live stream. I'm being a mirror for people's behaviors, for your own behaviors. If you focused on being that all the time, You would never ask your coach, how do I embody my results? You embody you can't fake standards and values. How I'm talking to you with this conviction, this is not a script that I'm reading. This is not something that I memorized. I've been live too long to try to tell you. This is lived. You can sense my certainty in how I speak and how I am transferring on this live stream to you. This transmission is landing in your bones, in your soul. You can sense that this is true, that I'm being completely honest and that I know what the fuck I'm talking about. That is what people mean when they say embody your results. But some of you hardly ever go live, first and foremost. Number two, when you do, you're like scared of the camera and you're like, oh, it's only 2 people watching, so I'm not going to go live. Oh my God, the one person that was here left. And all of this insecurity that you have clouds your certainty and your expertise. People don't know that the reason you're acting weird is because you're nervous in front of the camera. People don't know that the reason they don't even know what to say. They just know that they're not feeling certainty from you. They don't know that you are a badass at what you do and you're just uncertain in front of the camera. But you're transferring uncertainty. And so this is why you have to always be the result that your clients are seeking. The name of my business is Woman of Power. My clients, Woman of Power is back there. My clients want to be a woman of power, not a powerful woman. A powerful woman is very different than a woman of power. A powerful woman is what we normally see as a strong woman. And I got to be honest, almost every woman in this world is a strong woman. Almost every woman who's an adult that has kids, that's no longer married to their children's father or not with their children's father, has to be a strong woman. Otherwise, your kids don't eat. You have to freaking put your big girl panties on and go make shit happen. Most women are strong women. Most women that I work with have overcome life circumstances that would have most other people taking antidepressants. They're strong as fuck. They've pulled it out the mud. They've had 2 jobs. They make it happen. They make it happen for their kids and themselves. That's a strong woman. And a strong woman is only surviving at a higher rate. Like she's surviving with high performance. She's surviving with Gucci lipstick. She's surviving with Versace earrings. She's surviving in her Mercedes. It's surviving. She's burnt out. She's burned out. That's a strong woman. I'm not really, when people are like, I'm a strong woman. You shouldn't be proud of that, boo. Fucking, that's crazy. But a woman in her power is a woman who knows how to say no. It's a woman that says, oh, excuse me, I don't know what about me made you feel comfortable to speak that way to me, but that's totally unacceptable. I'm not available to be spoken to in that way. I'm not available for your projections. Please refrain from speaking that way to me ever again, or I will see myself out. A woman in her power is a woman who says, thank you for calling me. I feel flattered. And also, I don't have the bandwidth to be able to fulfill that request, whether it's money, whatever it is. A woman in her power is not in good girl energy. A woman in her power is not scared to be seen as the villain, the bad guy, the black sheep. A woman in her power knows that people are already talking about you. Step fully into your power. Let them say it. Say what you mean. That's a woman in her power. She's got boundaries. She would never tolerate a married man in her life. Absolutely not. She would never entertain married men. That's not to say that married men won't talk to you. Married men talk to me all the time. I just don't choose them. Right? So we think, again, as women, that's not what I need, Linda. I don't need help with my personal life. I don't need help with my drinking. I don't need help with the gummies that I take. I don't need help with the fact that I'm overwhelmed. I just need you to teach me how to sell high ticket. You can't. You don't have the identity. You don't have the deep core foundation of the woman that can make that happen. And when you watch live streams like this, or you get on a sales call with me, our sales call will go just like this. I'm not getting on a sales call to sell you on your pain points and how long have you been dealing with this? And what if you don't make a decision today? What will your life look like in 3 years when you don't make this decision now? I don't care. I'm not doing that. I'm not overcoming objections. I'm not talking you off the ledge. I'm not doing any of that. You get on a call with me because you have money to get started. You have some questions and here we go. And if you start acting like a flake, I will be a powerful mirror for you and tell you you're acting like a flake. I will say to you, you're how old? 44 years old? Why do you act like a 17-year-old? When did you decide that you were going to stop acting like a grown-ass woman and you were going to stutter and ask for permission and cry and overshare with a stranger? Oversharing. The amount of women that slide in my messenger crying. I mean, I love it that they feel safe. Like I can cry to Linda. And also, I'm not a therapist. And they leave me 4 and 5 8-minute long voice clips. This is a 45-minute conversation that you decided to have with a stranger. Do you realize that you're in your 40s, you're married, you have kids? When did you decide that it was okay to be a little girl and overshare? Just blah, vomit over people that you don't know. That is costing you hundreds and thousands of dollars. That's the shit that your coach is not teaching you. In her little mastermind where she's teaching you how to write and how to be powerful, but you're not really that person, which is why I don't believe in rewriting your hooks or rewriting your posts or rewriting your content or your sales page. And I damn sure do not believe in, listen, up until very recently. And when I say very recently, I want to say last month. My clients were sending me screenshots of conversations they were having in the DM for sales. I no longer will tell you what to say. I will guide you. But if I tell you what to say to close that sale, you didn't close the sale. I did. And then you can't do it on your own. And then you can't do it on your own. Coaching is not enabling. Coaching is not enabling people. Coaching is giving people the skills so that they can do it on their own. That's what coaching is. So I'm super excited. I don't know. Let me see. Who's here right now watching me live? I don't know. Hey, Black Guns. How are you? Hey, Reclaim Yourself. Hey, Trend Chaser. Hey, everybody. Irina Miora. What's up, guys? If you're here currently and you want to come live with me, you have a question or you want some hot seat coaching, I'd love to give you the opportunity to do that with me right now. So if that's you, send me the request. Like you could be like request to, go live, request to whatever it says on your side. I'm telling you, I hardly go live on Instagram. Look, I feel like I'm in church. I made an altar call and I'm going to wait about 30 more seconds to see if anybody wants to come live with me and get hot seat coaching or get your questions answered. And if you don't, you don't. Literally, it is $15,000 to spend one day with me. One day with me. So I'm giving you the opportunity to go live with me now. And you were like, I wasn't ready. I'm letting you know right now. When you roll with Linda, you better stay ready. Because I don't be rolling with people that are not ready. And I jokingly say, I need you to be able to keep us alive and not be a liability during a zombie apocalypse. If you're the kind of person that's going to get us killed, honey, I'm going to put you out for bait. I'm a strategist. I'm a logistician. Like, I don't need anybody who's a liability. So you need to stay ready when you're messing with me. So let me see who's here. All right. Okay. So nobody decided to come on live with me. So I appreciate you so much for being here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to finish this live. I'm going to download it and I'm going to set it up on my feed so that everyone else can enjoy it. Thanks so much for being here and I'll see you soon.